For many years, I have been a big fan of Adam Sandler, and I like some of his work. Where if it's a hit or miss, I have shown respect for so many of his misses and what have you, like the Grown Ups films, or even, oh, I don't know, sequels that were follow-ups to some of his older recent films and what have you. But there's this one film he did that I kind of didn't feel too impressed with, and felt a little more okay when I gave it another chance, a second time watch. What happens when a youngster and a teacher get involved in a student teacher relationship and have a youngster in there? Well, you get the point. You got this film right here. Here's my review of That's My Boy. Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. So, greetings, my fellow YouTubers, and welcome to Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. My name is Doyle, better known to as the Big D, and this time around I bring to you a review of the 2012 comedy flick That's My Boy, released by Columbia, produced along with Happy Madison Productions. Starring starring Adam Sandler himself, along with Andy Samberg, along with Leighton Meester and James Caan, plus Vanilla Ice, Tony Orlando, Will Forte, Milo Ventimiglia, and Susan Sarandon. Now, the film follows a middle-aged alcoholic named Donnie Berger, who once enjoyed celebrity status for being at the center of a student-teacher statutory rape case as he tries to rekindle his relationship with his adult son, who, well, his adult son, born as a relationship of that illicit relationship, in hopes that their televised reunion will earn him enough money to avoid going to prison for his tax debts. The film was released on June 15th, 2012, and unfortunately it didn't do so hot, and really got dissed big time. But I'm gonna go ahead and give you this film story, but I'll still give you the warning though. In 1984 Massachusetts, Donnie Berger flirts with his middle school teacher, Mary McGarrigle, who seems repulsed by his actions and gives him a month's detention. However, in detention, Mary seduces Donnie and they begin a sexual relationship, which is discovered during an auditorium speech. Subsequently, Mary is sentenced to 30 years in prison for statutory rape, while the scandal makes Donnie famous. After Mary is also revealed to be pregnant, custody of their unborn son is given to Donnie's physically abusive father until Donnie turns 18 to assume full custody. 28 years later, Donnie is an alcoholic and broke slacker who owes $43,000 to the IRS in back taxes. To avoid spending 3 years in prison for this, he places a $20 bet on an 8,000 one run well one runner in an upcoming race, but decides to make a backup plan should the runner lose. Meanwhile, he has also been estranged from his now adult son for the past 10 years. To avoid contact with his parents and others discovering their family connection, their son changed his name from Han Solo Burger, yeah, kind of an odd name, to Todd Peterson, and told others that his parents died in an explosion. Now a successful businessman, Todd has recently arrived at the Cape Cod house of his boss, Steve Sparrow, where he is to marry his fiancee, Jamie. Randall Morgan, a television producer who worked with Donnie during his time as a celebrity, offers him $50,000 if he can organize a reunion with Todd and Mary. Informed of Todd's upcoming wedding in a newspaper, Donnie arrives at Cape Cod. Todd, who did not expect the visit, pretends Donnie is an old friend, and Donnie's popularity with the guests annoys him. He initially refuses to see Mary, but after Donnie convinces Jamie's family to have the wedding rehearsal away from churches and Todd's friends to have the bachelor party at a strip club, Todd reconciles with him and agrees to the prison meeting. However, a television crew arrives to film in the middle of Todd and Mary's encounter. Todd leaves in disgust without signing a release form. Now, I'm going to go to the ending right now. I'm going to start counting down and just say, you better stop this video right now, okay? You know what to do. If you have seen this, go ahead and continue. Okay, you've been warned. Donnie then finds out Jamie is having affairs with Steve and her brother Chad. Yeah, which she hides by giving Todd a cover story and paying Donnie $50,000 to not tell anyone. However, Donnie feels guilty for withholding the truth, and he interrupts the wedding just in time to reveal his biological connection to Todd and demands Jamie reveal her infidelity and incest. Todd breaks up with Jamie, accepts Donnie as his father, quits his job, and reclaims his birth name, Han Solo. And he later begins dating strip club bartender Bree and offers Donnie the money, but Donnie declines, insisting on taking responsibility for his actions. While preparing to go to prison to rekindle his relationship with Mary after his sentence is over, the best place, he plays some marathon, wins him $160,000, satisfying the IRS. End of story. For realsies. So, what did I think of That's My Boy? Now, I've only seen the film twice, and I doubt I'll ever watch this again. I feel like this is not one of Sandler's best films, even after he's done numerous PG-13 films for so long. And, well, please stand by. I'll be right back. Sorry about that. I had to do some research. Yeah, Sandler had been working on numerous PG-13 films for numerous years. After he just more recently had done the PG-rated Jack and Jill the previous year, just over a half a year since it came out, and that did okay, even though the Spike Game dissed and what have you. And consider that to be one of the worst films ever made, which that's understandable. But I have yet to review that film. I won't get too far ahead of that. Anyway, this one marks his return to an R-rated comedy in who knows how long, even though he had recently been in some R-rated films before this, including Funny People and let's see. It's kind of hard to figure out what other R-rated movies he's done. Oh yeah, Punch Drunk Love. But anyway, to be honest with y'all, this has been one of Sandler's worst and what have you. And this would actually be his first attempt with Andy Samberg, who after this would have better success at the box office with the Hotel Transylvania series, which also was released by Columbia later on that same year. But anyway, this film didn't do so hot, so it was a commercial disappointment, failing to make 57.7 million worldwide on its 57.5 to $70 million budget, and was heavily dissed and what have you. And it lost big time after being held up by the second weekend of Madagascar 3 and Prometheus and the opening of Rock of Ages. Rotten Tomatoes has this at a score of 21, saying while it does represent a new foray into raunch for the normally PG-13 Sandler, the film finds him repeating himself to diminishing effect and dragging Andy Samberg down with him. Metacritic has a score of 31. Audiences polled by CinemaScore gave it a B-. Richard Roeper was not impressed with the film, calling it an ugly, tasteless, deadly, and mean-spirited piece of filmmaking, and later called it the worst film of 2012, even after critics had, lambasted Sandler's previous film, Jack and Jill. Variety called the film a shameless celebration of degenerate behavior, a work of relentless vulgarity and staggering moral idiocy. Half in the Bag called the film pathetic and painful and went on to criticize Sandler as a comic, suggesting he was unable to create humor that was not based on childish jokes. And the film was criticized for making light of statutory rape, incest, and child neglect. At the Razzies, where it got nominated for 7 awards. That's almost close to, even though Jack and Jill was nominated for like a dozen of those the previous year. But however, it only won two: worst screenplay and worst actor for Sandler. But that's understandable and what have you. It also won the worst film at the Houston Film Critics Society as well. So anyway, yeah, I can't really say this film tried its best. Thanking for an R-rated comedy, say we tried, we bombed. Well, the music from Rupert Gregson Williams is fine, whatever. The only thing I really liked in the film was it having a little 80s vibe in it, with having a little bit of 80s music in it. Starting off with my top favorite Def Leppard jam, Rock of Ages. And then you hear other songs along the way, including Round and Round by Rat, as well as a few Van Halen songs, including Ice Cream Man, Dance the Night Away. Oh, yeah. And even though Vanilla Ice appears in this, of course, his signature tune, Ice Ice Baby's heard as well, plus lots of other tunes. That's probably one of the few things that saves this movie. It did have a little bit of funny moments, but not 110% to save this movie. So unfortunately, I cannot defend this film. This film was a major disaster. Adam Sandler's performance as Donnie was, well, alright, what have you. I mean, I liked how he does the voice and what have you, but this just wasn't one of his best. Andy Samberg playing Han, aka Todd, well, he was fine, what have you. Playing Jamie is Leighton Meester, who, of course, was a big star on TV's Gossip Girl at the time, and she had recently done two other flicks with Sony before this, Country Strong a couple of years before this, and the previous year with the thriller The Roommate. Well, she's fine in this. Vanilla Ice plays himself, or otherwise known as Uncle Vanny. Really crazy. James Caan played Father McNally. Yeah, he was fine. Milo Ventimiglia played Chad Martin, Jamie's brother. Yeah, kind of a little cuckoo. Blake Clark, who's appeared in numerous Sandler films, and of course, and he had just more recently started voicing Slinky Dog in the Toy Story franchise. Played Jamie and Chad's father, Gerald. Megan Faye played Helen. She wasn't too bad. Well, even though it seemed too much. Let's see. Peggy Stewart played Grandma Dolores. Steve's mother. Yeah, she was kind of pretty funny. Let's see. Will Forte played Phil. Not too bad. Not really great. But the one thing that really surprised me was the famous Tony Orlando. You may remember that name, Tony Orlando and Don. Yeah, that he played Steve. I gotta say, he was one I did like a little. Let's see. Susan Sarandon plays the grown-up version of Mary, while Ava Amore Martino played the younger version of Mary. And also, we'll get to see some other special appearances. One who plays himself, who apparently happens to be at a food stand at a roller rink. If you may or may not know who that is, that's actually Todd Bridges, who you may remember Willis of TV's Different Strokes fame. Yes. Let's see, we even have appearances from Alan Thicke and Ian Ziering, Dennis Dugan, who, of course, no stranger to working with Sandler since he recently did films with him like Happy Gilmore, Big Day, which I will be re-reviewing, and they had also done I Now Pronounce You Chuck and Larry. Okay, Am's wife Jackie appears in this as well. Also, their kids Sadie and Sunny appear as lemonade stand kids. Oh man, now that was pretty funny. Also, the character of Bree, who we see at the end, is played by R&B singer Ciara. But anyway, they're just not. But a lot of this isn't strong enough to save this film and what have you. So this is not a great film by any means. I do appreciate the 80s tunes and what have you a little, and while it does have a little bit of funniness, but not a whole lot that made me get a good laugh. So overall, would I recommend that to my boy? I'd say no. My verdict is avoid this at all costs. Don't watch this. Words of wise, stick with better Adam Sandler films you would rather watch over this. Heck, even Big Day. But what did you think of That's My Boy? Did you like this or did you hate it? Let me know in the comment section below. If you like this video, consider clicking the like button, subscribe, and be a part of the Big D Nation. Continue to help support my channel. Make it grow and make the views grow. Tell all your friends about my channel. Give them to know me. May they like to be a part of my Big D Nation. Share my vids with your friends if you like as well. And next time I'll be bringing to you a full re-review of Big Daddy for Father's Day. So if you like this, check out my reviews of these other two films with, well, twisted bits and what have you at weddings and what have you. Check out my review of American Wedding, the third American Pie film in the upper right left hand corner. I'm getting sidetracked here, sorry. But in the upper right hand corner is my review of Wedding Crashers from 2005. Or if you'd like, check out my review of another Adam Sandler film that got a lot of hate on, Little Nicky from 2000. And the bottom right hand corner is the button you can click to subscribe. If you like rankings and reviews on movies, TV, music, video games, etc., then I'm your guy. Thanks for watching. Until next time, I'm the Big D saying, see ya.